Welcome back to another media review. Today we're looking at 3 vintage flyers for the U.S. Army Ordnance Museum. And I encourage you to research a few topics here. If I can point these out real quick. One is the U.S. Army Ordnance Museum itself, which currently has part of the collection moved from Maryland to Fort Lee, Virginia. And I'm not sure of the current status of the project of the movement of the heavy vehicles. But again, I encourage you to research current status on the U.S. Army Ordnance Museum and visiting information, directions on getting to the location, etc. So, these 3 pieces here, I am not sure of the actual print dates of each, but these were actually obtained in the early 2000s, approximately 2001, in the summertime. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first one and get these out of the way. So this is typical brochure type flyer you might find in like a tourist display bin amongst other attraction flyers as well for regional enjoyment. You see, this one is a blue paper, pretty thick, and printed in just normal kind of photocopy type print. On front, we have an aerial view of the building facility. And if we can look at the top of the picture, you can see row upon row of AFVs, armored fighting vehicles. It just keeps going and going. And I believe at the time it was a 25-acre facility that displayed numerous vehicles. And there was also a line of vehicles along the access road as well. So you might want to research period photos and other historical information about the way these were displayed in Maryland. Another thing I can see right off of here, I do recall seeing this ordnance device here. It is quite large, and I will let you figure out the actual tonnage and designation of this device up to you. So that'll be a little bit of a homework assignment for you. I think you'll find it quite interesting. At the bottom of the flyer, you can see at the time the contact info. Again, this is a dated vintage document, so feel free to research current contact info on visiting the museum. If you go ahead and open up the flyer, right off here, easy to read, we have the museum hours, etc. The gift shop, the outside exhibits, and as you can see here, as I described earlier, the 25-acre tank artillery park of 225 items, and the mile of tanks, which was the access road as well display. There's another period photo, and at the time, admission free, donations are encouraged, tour is self-guided. I must say it was quite a hike, taking a look at the various rows as well as the mile of tanks as well. So we continue to open up this flyer. I'm not going to read all this. It's a lot of info, so if you are able to actually obtain one of these, you will see quite a bit of info, but feel free to pause as need be as I kind of scroll through this. And on the third page here, let's see if I can get my, whoops, sorry, let me see if I can get my thumb out of the way there. pretty good history summary right there. And about the Ordnance logo as well. If we complete looking at this one, the only side we haven't covered were the directions to Aberdeen Proving Ground, where the U.S. Ordnance Museum had its original facility. Again, check out current information on where the primary location is. Fort Lee, Virginia, for the heavy vehicles that were transferred over there. So again, a little bit of a directional map. You can see expansion of this part of Maryland, and expand to that area there. So let's set this aside here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the similar style of flyer. Again, a tour style flyer that might be on display amongst other flyers in a bin. So this one does say, in more stylized printing, welcome to the U.S. Army Ordnance Museum at Aberdeen Proving Ground, Maryland. Here we see stock photo, a different angle of the same building here. A little family gathering there, and you can see the same large device in the background. And if you understand visual perspective, the height of these individuals here compared to the tall height of the object in the background also gives you an idea to the scale size of this very large device right there. So if we go ahead and open this flyer up, this one right up solicits membership fees. Again, this is a dated document obtained in 2001, so I'm not sure what the current membership fees would be. Some of these levels were quite substantial, because it does take quite a bit of money to keep and effort to keep these vehicles in display order, as well as functioning for the ones that still function as well. So that was contact info at the time. Feel free to research current information if you are interested in supporting them. So here we got a bit more of a description as to their kind of a purpose statement. Some stock photos. You might recognize some of these. And again, their solicitation for aid financially, as well as volunteer activities as well. So if we flip this over, again, more stock photography and information on the Ordnance Museum, and the membership info, and other recognition info as well. On what would be the back of the flyer, again, visitor information, directions, visiting times, contact info. And again, dated document obtained in 2001. I'm not sure when the actual original print date was, so things might have been subject to change. And if we go ahead and take a look at this third item that I have here, this one is actually a kind of a section piece of paper that specifically was next to a display box. But this one is specifically for Tiger 1 in the collection. And you can see here that they also mentioned the Tiger 2, but I do remember at the time I obtained this, you can see here that they were moving certain vehicles not to Fort Lee, but to the U.S. Army Patent and Museum of Cavalry and Armor at Fort Knox, Kentucky. So vehicles get around. This takes a few years or decades. So you can see more contact info. And this was actually something that you could actually write your comments on site, and then tuck this into a suggestion box that was next to the display as well. So that was the purpose for this piece here, flank on this side. So it was something that somehow made it back with me. So just want to take a quick look at 3 pieces of flyer information that were obtained in 2001 from the U.S. Army Ordnance Museum. Feel free to check out current locations of certain vehicles if you're particularly interested in researching, visiting, and actually getting up close, personal, with the various AFVs, IFVs that are available to view. And I do know that various historians, modelers, hobbyists, I've actually seen them measuring various aspects of the vehicles to ascertain locations of certain parts on the vehicles, layouts, if there's any intact paint schemes, etc., camouflage, and way things are rigged up on these vehicles. So this has been another media review. Feel free to check out other book review media reviews on the channel. We also do unboxing videos as well as show and tell videos on vintage milsurp tools and expanded topics. And we also do a series called Curios for the Curious, videos on more artsy type objects. Feel free to check all those out. Feel free to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.